This is a rather charming looking, almost 200-year-old outhouse. A very simple structure and therefore a great one for a quick 10-minute daily exercise drawing. It's actually a great practice for our perspective, but also, particularly if we're drawing with pen, for how we control our edges to try and create the effect of whatever material we're looking at in whatever condition it's in the lighting that it's in, for the distance that we're seeing it from. We juggle all of these things when we work out how do the edges look, because while these are sandstone blocks, and in some ways that makes it straightforward, they're not sharp edges. It's not like it's cut steel. So we want to, despite the fact we're drawing with an ink line, we want to convey something of the weathered look of the, although these are very regular stones, blocks of stone, that the edges are not smooth and that there is a little more weathering in some parts than others. So I actually start with the doorway, which shouldn't surprise anyone who's watched me do a lot of drawing. But now I'm trying to work out what these angles and how many blocks of stone they're going to be. I wouldn't ordinarily agonize over getting the exact number of stones, the exact number of rows of stones correct, but because there aren't that many and because we want the proportions to be correct with this small structure, it is worth trying to get the same number of blocks of stone. And you'll see I started with the coursing that's closest to eye level, which is closest to a straight line. And now I just come down and I do some lines for the right side of these blocks, just working out what I'll do next. These drawings are always slowest at the start because we're having to observe more and get reference points. You'll see me making dots, putting little marks on the paper, which then I use to look again at the reference firstly and then to think, is that positioned correctly for what I'm trying to draw? And then I continue again with the drawing, trying to establish this doorway a little more securely. So I'm really trying to get the width of the door in relation to the width of the wall on the left-hand side of the door, and then get the area of depth that we can see, the inset back from the outer plane of that wall that the door sits in, and then do the width of the wall on the right-hand side of the door, and then get this angle at the bottom. I don't know if you noticed, but when I did those horizontal lines on the left side of the door, I positioned the one closest to eye level first, and then I did the angle at the top and the very base, because I need to spread, I need to create that fan shape between the horizontal or nearly horizontal line and the most extreme angle one way and the most extreme angle the other way. Now, eye level is above the halfway point, so the angles are going to be steeper in the lower half of our outhouse, because those lines go further away from eye level and the angles become greater the further away from eye level in either direction that they go. So I've probably been just a little bit heavy-handed with some of these lines at this point, but at the end I add some more marks over the top of these to soften the sharpness that they may have created here. And you can see me there that I didn't do a straight line down. Now I get the width, and you can see I eyeball it horizontally. I don't follow the diagonals, because I find I always somehow go too far. I find it's more accurate to just do a straight horizontal line. In my head, of course, not with the pen. if you don't normally draw with ink, if you normally draw with pencil, I think this would be a great subject to actually try drawing directly in ink, not seeing it as an artwork and therefore not having to worry about mistakes, because obviously we can't erase anything here. That line's not quite steep enough, but I do correct it in a moment. You can see me doing the same thing here now. I'm doing the almost horizontal line, and this is where I'm now trying to work out where these lines go. Just checking the angle. It wasn't quite steep enough, and that means this one will have to be steeper, and you can see me just increasing the angle there. And now I also have to be aware of the spacing of the blocks on the extreme left-hand edge, because they're needing to look like they're the same size all the way down. So now I'm actually getting the diagonal for the center course in, and that then again will help me spread the angles for the other two. And again, just changing that last angle to make it slightly more. Now, it's not a terribly good straight line going straight down on this edge. It seems to bulge out in the upper half of the outhouse wall. But I'm going to have the chance to correct that at the end when I'm doing that dark foliage that sits behind, because I'll be able to bring that slightly over and redefine that edge. It's always helpful when things aren't quite right to think, well, how can I make it look not quite so not right? And you'll notice I'm doing two lines for all of the mortar work. I'm not just doing a single line, because we can clearly see the upper and lower sections of the mortar, particularly in the parts that are closest to us. And so it's good, at least for some of the gaps, for some of the mortar to have the double lines. And just playing with this bottom angle again. But as I was saying earlier, if you normally draw with pencil, this is a great exercise to not produce an artwork, but to practice drawing confidently, directly, and not worrying about things that aren't quite right, just correcting them, doing them as best we can first time round, but then correcting them as best we can and pushing on with the drawing. And now I have the somewhat challenging curved top, a surprising piece of architecture, I thought, for such a humble building. I would have thought there were simpler ways of putting the roof on than having it curve in this rather elegant arch shape. This is no longer used as an outhouse. It actually was the outhouse for the station master's cottage for the railway that used to go past here. At some point, the railway was replaced with a highway, and the railway was moved into a different location. And now the station master's cottage and this outhouse sit in the grounds of a service station, a petrol station, looking on all the traffic going past every day. So a very different context for the one in which this building was first built. And if you've looked at my channel for a while, you've probably seen the station master's cottage as well, which I've used in several drawings. Just working out exactly what's happening here, trying to get the view under the overhanging tin, the overhanging corrugated iron. And just creating some values. I don't intend to do much in terms of shade and shadow on this. I don't want to do too much hatching. Firstly, in 10-minute drawing, that's going to be hard to do. But secondly, I want to try and keep it a bit of a clean drawing because it is such a clean little structure. So I'm not going to do hatching for the doorway, for the colour, not so much for shade or shadow, but for the colour of the doorway. I've decided to leave it paper. So that's our 10 minutes of real time up. So now we're on double time for the final 6 minutes that it took me to draw this, because really beyond the door, I mostly spent this time doing the background, doing the hedges and the trees and the grass. So firstly, I just did the fancy edging on the top of the door. It's a great way of creating space for ventilation, but have it look like an architectural feature as well. Just finishing now the brickwork and putting a few more marks on just to make it look less sharp, less even. And now the hatching. Of course, if you'd like to see this at real time, you can use the cog icon that you'll see on the screen to slow this part of the video down to half speed, and then you'll get to see the whole thing at full speed. Now, I particularly want these background marks to be fast and gestural, but I also want to have enough of them to create a nice dark value to really visually pop the outhouse forward. And you'll notice that when I did the very bottom lines, I didn't join them all up. They're not continuous lines. And I did that so that I've got space to put some tufts of grass along parts of the very base of the concrete slab that the outhouse sits on. And I haven't actually straightened that left side wall the way I intended to and presumed I had, but maybe I'll go and do that when this is finished before I take the photo. And now really just have this tree up the top. I hope you give this a go drawing. It is great practice, and as I said, particularly it's great practice for not just working on perspective, but working on our edges, particularly again when we draw with pen, where we do get a very sharp, definite line that sometimes we need to put a bit of effort into lessening the sharpness, the effect. And again, this is where I think thinking of marks rather than lines when we draw really frees us up in our thinking to create more variation in what we do, and therefore to create more subtle, more nuanced effects in what we do. Just a little bit of emphasis, and then we're pretty much done. Just a few more lines to create irregularities. So what do you think? Do you think I've captured a sense of these stone blocks that aren't perfectly sharp and smooth, that give a little sense of their age, but also their strength? What do you think? G'day, I'm Stephen Travers. I hope you have a go drawing this. It's a great daily drawing exercise, and you'll find the reference photo, of course, on my channel community page. But whatever you draw, in whatever time, make sure you have fun. I'll see you next time. Bye.